beat man is back.
Oh, oh my gosh, the ring got messed up. This is a 5 out of freaking 5.
It is beat making time.
Next week is E3 week. My album comes out next week.
I have the leopard. You know what I'm saying? It's true. You know what I'm saying? But oh, look at that, my God.
This is your boy. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dash True Inferno. Back at it with another Kingdom Hearts 3 commentary video for you guys. And yes, so check this out. We are finally talking about Google Stadia. So yeah, I got a lot of info on Google Stadia. I know like the info it's been out there for a while now, but I want to talk about it, get my 2 cents on this system. So for those of you who don't know what this is a gaming system that is coming out starting this November, if memory serves me correctly. Yes, starting this November. So there's at least 2 versions of this system. There's the free version where you're just gonna get the service and that's it, but that won't be out till 2020. And then there's the Founders Edition, which is gonna have the hardware starter kit. That one's gonna be $130. So the hardware starter kit would go as follows. It would come with a controller. It would come with Destiny 2. It would come with 3-month subscription and a 3-month buddy pass. And this is a streaming service system. So basically you're just streaming games. You're not playing physical copies of games. You're not even downloading games. You are streaming games and playing them through the cloud. So keep that in mind. You're streaming games and you're playing them through the cloud. So that means you don't own them in any way, shape, or form. You just going into the cloud or going into a hard drive that is not yours, but that belongs to Google, and you playing games off of that hard drive. So you don't technically own those games, you know, going by, you know, the technicality of it all. Not by like, oh, the dotted line or anything like that. But like, if you really look at it, you're not buying the game. You don't have a physical copy in your hand. You're not even downloading and installing the game, meaning like that file is in your system. No, you are going into a hard drive that belongs to Google, and you're playing the game that is inside of that hard drive. You're not taking it out. You're not installing it. You're not downloading it. You know it stays in that hard drive. So remember that. All right. So here's the deal. They got at least 31 games from 21 different publishers. So we talking the likes of Activision, Ubisoft, EA, and things of that nature. And like I said, the control, with the controller, here's the deal with the controller. The controller by itself costs $70. I crap you not. So I know we got the Joy-Cons for the Nintendo Switch. That joint costs $80, but you can view that as either 1 or 2 controllers, because you can split them apart and say, hey friend, play this game with me. Boom, there you go. So you can do that. However, this is just 1 controller. Now I have seen a picture of this controller. I will admit it looks dope as heck, but despite the look, whether you get the black one or the right, whether it's the black one or the right one you're looking at, rather, that better be a pretty damn good controller. That costs $70. That's more than a game. Like, that's crazy. That's more than a game. So and let's see, like I said, they're going to be a monthly subscription for you to stream games, and it'll be $10 per month. And yeah, now here's the deal. Another thing about this is, and another of you going to be turned off by this, and I don't blame you, and that is this. Like I said, they're going to have some games on there already, and they're going to get more games on there. But the newer games, like for example, the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare game that's coming out later this year, Pokemon Sword and Shield, I was thinking gun in my head. That's coming out later this year. Madden's coming out really soon. NBA 2K20 is coming out really soon. So new games like that. That's what I mean by new games. New games that are not out yet but are coming soon. When they get those games on Google Stadia, you're going to have to pay $60 plus tax to get them. So let me break this down to you. You're paying $10 a month to stream games. Again, you don't own these games. You're not downloading and installing these games. You're not getting a physical copy of the game. You're going into Google's hard drive to play a game off of their hard drive. And you're doing that $10 a month for $10 a month. And on top of that, when they get new games, if you want to play those new games on Google Stadia, they are charging you, they want you to pay $60 plus tax. So, and in addition to streaming $10 a month. Like, really? Like, that's stupid. That is the dumbest thing ever. Like, let's compare it to, and then they want to say, oh, we're the same as Microsoft's subscription service and Sony's subscription service, assuming that they have one. Oh yeah, they got that PSN, that PlayStation Now joint, whatever. And I'm like, no, the hell y'all ain't. Because here's the difference. With Microsoft's streaming service, when they get a new game, whether it's the new Halo game that's coming out or a new Gears of War that's coming out, whatever the case may be, they're not charging you to play those games. They're not charging you to stream those games. It's included in their subscription service. So yeah, it's $15 a month. It's $5 more per month. So it would be like what, $60 more, ironically enough, $60 more for the year. But guess what? Any new game that comes out, I don't have to pay extra for it. It's included. It's included. So why would I pay $60 for a game that I have to stream to play? That makes no sense. None whatsoever. And they want to say, oh, they're the same as Microsoft and PlayStation streaming. I'm like, no, y'all ain't. Because those are included. Like, the new games, they're included. They're not charging you $60. So y'all not the same as them. Y'all worse. Now, there's one more thing I want to show you. And this is going to be another deal breaker for you guys. So, there, like, over the gameplay, there is this image. So, this image is the Stadia supports a range of resolutions and internet speeds. So, here's the deal with this. There's 3 types of resolutions that you can choose from. 720p, which is the lowest of the 3. So, that's like 60 frames per second. Oh, wait, all of them have 60 frames per second, but that one's going to have stereo sound. And there's that. And they recommend that you have internet speeds from 5 to 10 Mbps. I forgot what that stands for, but yeah, whatever. And they recommend that you be at 10 Mbps. You have internet speeds of 10 Mbps. I think that could be megabytes per second. That could be what that is. Yeah, I think that is megabytes per second. Again, 10 megabytes per second. Next up, we got the 1080p. And that one will feature HDR video and 5.1 surround sound. Well, actually, the next two, this one and then the next one, they both feature the same thing, HDR video and all that stuff. So they recommend you maybe around 15 or 25 megabytes per second. And then the big one, the big dog, is the 4K. So that one gonna have, all of them, HDR, 60 frames per second, 5.1 surround sound. And that one, 25 to 35 megabytes per second, megabits per second, whatever. That's the best one. So, here's the deal. For those of you who don't know, everybody should have the internet. Everybody should have like their own internet provider, whatever the case may be. But there's a cap. There's a cap in terms of how much internet speeds or internet data you have per month. I don't know why there's a cap. That should be removed. But there's a cap. So let's say that your cap is 1 terabyte. 1 terabyte per month. So you're probably thinking, terabyte, that's a lot more than megabytes. And it is. It is. But you got to think about this as well. That thing said per second. Megabytes per second. Not per day. Not per hour. Not per minute, which would still be bad, but per second. So 35 megabytes, that's 1 second. And then it went up to 70 because that's 2 seconds. And you get the point. It goes from there. So let's look at this, shall we? Let's look at, before I move on, I just want to point this out as well, that I got all this information from TheVerge.com, Kotaku.com, and PCGamer.com. And the article that I'm about to read is from PCGamer.com. So check this out. Google says it can provide a steady 60 frames per second 4K stream with a bitrate of 35 megabytes per second. That's the high end of the streaming requirements, while 1080p at 60 frames per second drop the bandwidth to 20 megabytes per second. And 720p 60 frames per second requires just 10 megabytes per second. That works out to around, check this out, 15.75 gigabytes per hour of 4K streaming, 9 gigabytes per hour of 1080p, and or 4.5 gigabytes per hour at 720p. That's about what we expected though, as with all streaming services. If you plan to use it a lot and don't have an unlimited data plan, you will want to exercise caution. Even with a 1 terabyte databyte plan, which is what, whoever wrote that article at PC Gamer, which is what they have from Comcast, that's 65 hours of streaming per month at 4K. And that's assuming they don't do anything else on the internet. At 1080p, it comes to 113 hours of streaming per month, assuming no other data uses. There's usually not much point in streaming at 4K on a lower resolution display, though with games you should get some anti-analyst and aliasing benefits. Google did reiterate that all streaming is intended to happen at 60 frames per second to keep things smooth, which is a nice change of pace from the 30 frames per second standard some games like to target for consoles. Google didn't dig into all the other facets of Stadia, but a Stadia Pro subscription would include 5.1 surround sound support, while free Stadia accounts, which are coming next year, will only have stereo audio and will be limited to 1080p or lower stream. Stadia will launch, okay, we talked about that, and oh yeah, that's right, and the Stadia Finder Disc will come with a Chromecast Ultra. I forgot to mention that as well. So there you go with that. So let's reiterate the amount of data you're using here. So again, the top of the line, the 4K, that's 15.75 gigabytes per hour. So basically, if you got a 1 terabyte cap, I don't know what your cap is. I don't even know what my cap is. But if you get like a 60, that's a good point. I need to look at what my cap is for my internet. But unless it's unlimited. I think it is unlimited, but I need to double check that. But anywho, 15.75 gigabytes per hour. That's 65 hours to get to 1 terabyte cap limit. So that would take you 2.71 days, a little under 3 days, to get to that cap, that 1 terabyte cap. If you do nothing with your internet but play Google Stadia on that 4K resolution. Okay, you're probably thinking, well, let's try 1080p. Again, that's 9 gigabytes per hour, and it will take you 113 hours to get to that 1 terabyte cap, which will take you 4.71 days, like AKA a little under 5 days. So now you're thinking, oh wow, okay, let's do 720p. Okay, that's 4.5 gigabytes per hour, and that's 222 hours to get to that 1 terabyte cap, which would take you 9.25 days. So a little over 9 days, 9.25 days. And you're supposed to be paying $10 a month on Google Stadia. That's not a lot. That thing eats up a lot of data. Like, it really do. It's really do. And here's another thing you got to think about when it comes to Google Stadia. Because let's be honest, Sony will come out with the PlayStation. Microsoft will come out with the Xbox. Matter of fact, they're coming out with new systems next year. So we're going to get a PlayStation 5 and the Anaconda next year. The Xbox Anaconda, wherever the real name is, whatever. And then Nintendo just came out with the Switch, or not they came out, they're coming out with the Switch Lite. And in order for them to compete with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Anaconda, whatever it's called, they're going to have to come out with a Switch Pro. So, with those three systems coming out next year, Google Stadia won't be at the cream of the crop. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It will not be at the cream of the crop. Now, it does set the blueprint for what will come in terms of the future of gaming, because there's some theories out there that streaming will be rare. I mean, everybody streams stuff now. Like, people streaming music, people streaming movies and things of that nature. So streaming video games will become a thing where you can stream it on your on a system. You can stream it on your TV, on a laptop, on a tablet, on your phone, whatever. It's going to happen. But we're not ready for it because of the internet. Like, the internet that we have now is not up to par for that. Like, this Google Stadia, if we had 5K, I mean, not 5K, but what that joint called? 5G. 5G instead of 4G. And then maybe this could work. Like, this could work. And we got unlimited data, like, that's the norm. Then this could work. But the problem is, here's another thing you gotta take into consideration. Again, You got Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. They're the king of the crop here. You know, the top of the crop here. Google Stadia could fall. They could go out of business. So if you're one of those idiots that jump aboard Google Stadia and you even buy $60, pay $60 rather for a new game. Let's say you buy 10 of those joints. So you paid over $600. Because each game costs $60, and then I'm not including tax yet, but you're still going to have to pay that tax. So you're going to be paying over $600 plus tax on 10 new games just so you can stream them on Google Stadia. Then all of a sudden, Google Stadia went out of business. They shut down their systems and all that stuff. Let me ask you a serious question. Where did that $600 go? You just paid $600 to play games off of Google Stadia, but then they shut down Google Stadia. So what happened to that $600 you paid? Did you get that back? Hell no. You ain't getting that back. That's a waste of money. That's a waste of money. So, and you know, this is not like, and this is not a guaranteed thing. I think it's going to fail unless they redo this and try again. But if they keep things as it is right now, nobody should get this. Like, you should not get this. You should not get Google Stadia. They need to try this again. Like, again, streaming will be the norm. I think, not the norm, but will be the future. I think it's going to happen later than sooner, to be honest. Some people think it's going to happen sooner than later. But obviously, that was before what some people from Sony said. Like, no, console going to be a thing for a good long time or whatever. But probably when I become an old man, and that's going to take me about, like, what, 4 decades. Ooh, wow, I just dated myself there. That's when I think streaming video games will be the norm. Like, it will completely take over. Like, there will be no consoles. There will be no physical copies of games. There will be no downloading video games. Everything will be off the cloud, or wherever the thing is called back then, at that point or whatever. But the bottom line is, Google Stadia, right now, as it is, will not succeed. I don't see it happening. So, in order for you to protect your money and your investment, really, don't get Google Stadia. Don't get it. Don't get it. Don't support it. No. Until they fix it, until they get rid of that whole, oh, you got to pay $60 for a brand new game. Get rid of that crap. If they had to charge them, increase the monthly fee from 10 to 15 bucks per hour. Wait a minute. Bucks per month, rather, not per hour. But that would be horrible. From 10 to 15 bucks per month, or even 20. Then they may have something, but then they gotta do something about that internet cap. They gotta do something about the them and the internet providers. They gotta do something about that internet cap. If people do have a cap on there, or they're using unlimited, or whatever the case may be, they gotta do something about that as well. So you need, like, before you even think about getting, you gotta make sure that your internet is on point. Like, you got to make sure that you got unlimited internet. Double check, triple check with your internet provider. Say, hey, I'm thinking again this Google Stadia, and it does this. Can your internet support this? If they say no, then don't get Google Stadia to begin with. But once they fix these issues, then you still have to do research. You have to double check with your internet provider before you can even think about getting Google Stadia, and go from there. But at this point in time, don't get Google Stadia. Don't get it. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a wrap. So with that said, y'all know who this is. This is the new Jake Aspie, aka the new Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.